Ice Cream Conversation. Ice Cream Conversation. Let's go. Forever on the grind all day, every day. Ice Cream Convos, always real, they never play. Download the podcast, listen on any day. Why didn't I do this sooner? Only thing you ever say. Xaviera, best host of all time. All of the faithful listeners will say they never lie. Check every story they run, like me with the rhymes. When other shows report anything, it should be a crime. Entertainment news, yeah, I gotta get mine from ICC, and you should be inclined to do the same if you got half a mind. I do co-sign this lady to shine like Frankenstein. Cut it the day design. IceCreamConvos.com. Tune in, yeah. This influence by IceCreamConvos.com.
Welcome to the Ice Cream Convos Podcast, where we serve delicious scoops of entertainment and celebrity news. I am your host, Xaviera.
And I'm your co-host, Karla.
Is it me or do I sound incredibly sexy tonight? I feel like I got
Yeah. Girl, I was glad you run that back.
Okay, all right. So thank you all so much for tuning in to episode 329 of the Ice Cream Convos Podcast. So tonight we have a lot to cover. So if this is your first time tuning in, we ask that you share tonight's chat with a friend. Please. And let them know that we are live. Now, usually what we do is for 1 hour, or if we get a little chatty, but we're going to try to keep it cute. But usually for 1 hour, we talk about the top stories in entertainment and celebrity news. And you can feel free to jump into the comment section. Let us know your thoughts. And if you have a comment that we find to be great, appealing, whatever, we'll throw it up on the screen so everyone else can see your comments. So we'll feature your comments as well. Now, if you didn't catch the live ICC podcast, you are free to watch it on your DSPs, wherever you stream your podcast. We are there. So Karla, it's been a lot going on. And it's so funny because every time we do the podcast, when we come back the following week, I have to try to remember what did we talk about and what we didn't talk about, because so much happens in such a short period of time.
Yes.
So tonight's episode is titled Family Feud for obvious reasons. So we won't tarry and waste time. Let's just go ahead and get it popping and get it started. All right. So our first topic tonight is going to be Vanessa Bryant. So I want to go ahead and just start out by saying, y'all pray for Vanessa, because Vanessa is going through a lot right now.
Too much.
Exactly.
Too much.
Exactly. Now, what she's going through, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Not only did she lose Kobe and Gianna, now she is going through it with her mother, because her mother decided to do an exclusive interview. Oh, look at my lighting.
Uh-oh. Good save. I was like, you got
anyway.
Quick hands.
Girl, I had a feeling it was going to happen, but I was like, no, it's good. But anyway, so her mother did this exclusive interview on Univision, and her mother is Sophia Lane, and her mother decided to tell everybody that after Kobe's passing, Vanessa done turned off the well. Vanessa is no longer caking for her. She claimed Vanessa done put her out the house. Vanessa done took El Carro from her, and it's just this whole mess. And it's just a reminder of how, they say, what is the saying? Blood is thicker than water.
Yes, that's the saying anyway.
Okay, well, some of y'all families out here, y'all be acting up like that real cheap juice that be in the hugs. Y'all not even real Kool-Aid. Like, just what she's going through is just so terrible. And
yeah, for real.
The first thing that came to mind was, I really wish I had paid attention in Spanish class, because the whole thing was in Spanish, right? So I'm trying to watch and listen for keywords that I remember from Spanish class. But
right. Catching context clues. You're trying to catch them hot context clues.
Absolutely. But I knew El Carro. I was like, oh, she got the car. So basically, Vanessa released a statement and she said, look, her and Kobe have been taking care of her mother for 20 years. Wow. Okay. They have been taking care of her mom for 20 years. They have provided financial, stability for her, a roof over her head, a car, and all these different things. But Vanessa was like, be very clear, for her mother to have the audacity to go on this show and try to spill tea, try to drag her good name. She was like, first of all, my mama took off all her diamonds before she went on the show to do this interview. And I was like, ooh, she took off the diamonds. Okay. And then she went on to talk about how her mom was not there for her physically or emotionally after she lost Kobe and Gianna.
That's sad.
But Karla, I can't help but think, what set Vanessa's mom off?
I don't know.
What was the catalyst that just made her be like, you know what? I'm finna go sit on Univision and tell it all.
Right.
I mean, the obvious thing is maybe the money was cut off, but from the way Vanessa was talking, Vanessa was like, listen, I'm still going to take care of her financially, regardless. But she need to shut up, number one. And number two, I just want y'all to know why she crying the blues and acting like I'm such a bad guy. She wasn't there for me and my family when we were going through, this traumatic situation.
Right. I don't know. I'm like you. That's the question. Like, what set it off now? I mean, we all know death and families, period. People act all kinds of ways. You know what I'm saying? But it had to be like, what was it that just broke, that just made all of this? Because this is public. I'm very surprised at it. I'm going to be honest with you,
But for me, I'm thinking to myself, did Vanessa take the car? Because why out of all things would she say Vanessa took a car and then Vanessa put her out her house? Now, Vanessa was like, now my mom got an apartment. And she done put all her stuff in storage, trying to act like we left her out there. So then I was like, hold on. Context clues. 1 + 2 = 3. 3 + 4 = 7. Because Vanessa is talking about an apartment. Did she snatch her mama out of a house and downgrade her? And that's what her mother is upset about?
Right. And I'm wondering if it's something like that, because at the end of the day, you said 20 years is a long time to be taken care of. I understand we all want to take care of our mamas for life. We all say if we seen that type of money, first thing I'm going to do is buy my mom a house. But the reality of it is she has a family. We don't know what transpired between her and her mom. We don't know what the relationship was like prior to, maybe she was just taking care of her mom and just because she felt like she needed to, but maybe her mom wasn't appreciative. There's so many different things we just don't know. I mean,
but the biggest thing, and of course we're just speculating and assuming because we don't know that private family's business, but her mama took it public. So now we're going to sit here and talk about it for a hot second. But the biggest thing that you and I both are skipping over is the fact that Kobe was the breadwinner and Kobe is gone. Now, I'm pretty sure Kobe's empire will continue to take care of the family, but we all know anytime there is, what do they call it? Like a significant life change, whether it's a job, a baby being born, you losing a job,
that's right.
You losing a loved one, you have to reevaluate the whole big picture.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. And if I had to guess, that's what I would think. It was downgrading and you have to think of future. She's not just thinking of her children's future. She's thinking of her children's future.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
When you get that long money, that's what you start thinking about, generational wealth.
Absolutely.
So, that's what if I had to guess, that's what I would say.
I guess for me, it's just so super ugly because not only is it her mom, look at the timing. Look, it's in public. And I'm so happy all of us can't speak a Spanish because then we really have something to gossip about. Because I know her mama was spilling tea the way she was wiping them tears and all that fake stuff.
Yes.
But okay, so Vanessa is still grieving the loss of her husband, her beautiful daughter. Her mama is on Univision spilling tea in Espanol. And then Vanessa has filed a lawsuit against the LA County Sheriff's Department, the sheriff and the sheriff's department.
As she should.
Absolutely. Abso-damn-lutely. Because those ratchet MFers over there had the nerve, to go down to the crash site of the helicopter and take pictures of Kobe and Gianna's body.
Yeah, that like, I don't even have words for that because there should be so many. It's multi-layered. Think about it. Number one, you have to go to a scene that I'm sure there were off-duty officers. I don't know the details, but officers that weren't required to be on the scene. So you have to go to the scene, then you take the picture, and then you actually spread and pass. Like it's so disgusting. I can't believe it. I
can't believe it either. I mean, what type of raggedy ass person do you have to be to go down and take photos? I don't care how famous Kobe was. That man perished with his daughter and multiple friends in a tragic helicopter accident. And your first thought was, let me get some pictures of the body. Now, let's keep in mind, Those photos that were taken were on personal cell phones. They were not for investigative purposes.
Absolutely
they were
not.
not for anything other than their own pure indulgement and entertainment. Or I think is indulgement a word? Because I felt that. That felt strange.
Yeah,
when
well,
I
we're
said
going to make it a word. But
okay, we're going to make it a word. Karla, put it on the board behind you, girl. Put it on the board behind you. Indulgement. But it's like they just did it just to be doing it because they're just low life ass people.
And you know what's so sad? That shows me lack of empathy. And what really bothers me is I don't know if anyone took the time and actually read the results of the autopsy. I did, unfortunately. And if you look at the autopsy reports and you think about knowing that what I know, and then knowing that someone actually took pictures of what, I don't know how to be politically correct, but what was left, and I don't mean to say it like that, is it like it almost had me wanting like to cry, like that this woman has to maybe possibly see these photos one day.
That's
because where are they at?
That is the thing, because in her lawsuit, Vanessa called out a particular sheriff. I think it's Sheriff Villanueva.
Yes.
And Villanueva went down to the deputies and told them, once the word got out that they had those photos, he went and told them if they delete the photos out of their phone, allegedly, excuse me, y'all, because I don't need no legal problems either. Yeah. He went down there and told them, allegedly, that if they delete the photos out of their phone, they won't receive any disciplinary action. Insane. That's his way of trying to clean up the mess. Well, just delete the photos out your phone.
Yep.
But
horrible.
Let's not forget, the reason why we found out these pictures existed is because a dude, one of the deputies, was in a bar trying to impress a chick and showed the chick the pictures of Kobe and his daughter.
Sick. That's sick. And shout out to whoever the whistleblower or whoever the person was. Seriously. Like, because that, we would have never, ever heard about it. And that's even worse because would they have been deleted? Would it have I mean, we all been to certain sites. I'm not going to get them the credit and say their name, but that post these type of things.
Yep.
And it's horrible. It's disgusting. I don't even know.
Absolutely. And that is another point that Vanessa made in her lawsuit against Villanueva and the department, was that once they found out that the crime scene, not the crime scene, what do you call it? The devastation or the scene of the tragic accident, once it was compromised, none of the family members were told that it was compromised. They found out about the pictures in the public the same way we found out about the pictures.
Horrible.
And then secondly, not only did he not tell them, he tried to cover it up. He tried to have them delete the photos. But Vanessa is suing for punitive damages as well, because she don't know when and where, if ever, those pictures are going to pop up in public for her and her daughters.
Horrible. It's so sad. That's the part that bothers me the most. We've all watched videos, right? Of strangers, right? We've all seen that photo or that video that we shouldn't have seen. How did it make you feel? Yep. Now take that and just picture your loved one. Like, that is the part that I feel like people should go to jail. They have to be held accountable. It's nuts.
They should have to go to jail. They should have to serve time for it. This is not something that should just be paid away or brushed under the rug. They should serve jail time. No, you're good. You're good, because they compromised the scene of a tragic accident.
Yes.
And where's the empathy? Where's the humanity in that? So, y'all, I say all that to say, please keep Vanessa uplifted in prayer, because not only is sis dealing with what's going on with her mama, her grief, now her family is being exploited and could possibly leak these pictures. And she has to walk around on eggshells for God knows how long, wondering and just thinking to herself that, knowing what she knows, those photos were being passed around as if those Kobe, Gianna, and we don't even know if they had pictures of the other people that were there. Right. We only know about Kobe and Gianna.
That's
just the fact that she has to know those pictures are out there is just keep her uplifted.
It's heartbreaking. Yeah, really. It's heartbreaking.
Absolutely. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I want to talk about Breonna Taylor. I want to talk about Vivica Fox, and I want to talk about your boy Ty Lawson.
Ain't my boy. Stop watching the boys. Not mine. That's your boy. Why you always got to be my boy when there's something bad?
My bad, baby, my bad. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, friends, we are back. So, Karla, I want to talk about Breonna Taylor.
Yes.
So there's been some updates in the Breonna Taylor case. None of the updates are things that we really want. But since our last time talking about this case, we now know that there are 6 officers who are now under investigation by the police department. But this particular investigation will not lead to criminal charges. It is basically an investigation. It's an internal investigation to find out if these officers violated any policies of the department. So that's basically what this investigation. So worst case scenario, if they are found guilty of violating any of these department policies, it could range from some type of written disciplinary action through to termination. But mind you, they already got one officer up out of here. So I'm thinking that what they're doing is kind of trying to make him the scapegoat, because everything that you read, they only say he fired the shots that killed Breonna Taylor. So they're trying to shift all of the energy over to him, or shift the crime at hand over to him to make him the one scapegoat in the whole situation. But here's the thing. So they have this new investigation, and everybody that is included in this investigation ranges from the detective who filed for the no-knock warrant affidavit, and it goes all the way down to officers who were just on the scene. Okay, so then we have the 3 original officers, the ones who ran up in the apartment, guns blazing, so on and so forth. But with that being said, while I was writing that post, I got another alert saying that the Louisville Metro Police Department had filed for a state of emergency in Louisville. So now the Louisville Metro Police Department have canceled all requests for vacation, all requests for days off. All officers are on deck. They have already started putting up fencing and barricades around the city. Girl, what?
Wow.
Listen, it don't take a rocket science. It don't take rocket science to know what is about to happen. And it makes me sick to my stomach.
Me too. When I saw it, when it broke, I got sick, just like you, and I'm getting sick again about it. And it's just like, when are we going to start? Who's going to police the police? Who is ever going to police the police?
And, listen, what's your boy name? Attorney General? What's his name? The Attorney General.
Oh, gosh.
His name escapes me because he is.
Me too, because he's not. Well,
okay. He's I was about to say he's a non-MF factor, but apparently he is. And, just the fact that who he is aligned with, who he rocks with, who he runs with, the fact that there were people protesting in the streets of Louisville while he was having a damn engagement party. He couldn't have cared less about taking care of this case.
At all. No.
He could not have cared.
Yes, thank you. William Barr. I did. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Shout out to Rob.
Yeah, but that's not the Attorney General I'm thinking of. Hold on. Let me pull it.
That's you thinking of the AG of Kentucky?
Yes.
Okay, that's what we need, AG of Kentucky. Yeah,
yes,
I forget the name. Yeah, listen, I draw a blank, especially when they're not doing their job.
You can say that again. But basically, so here's the thing. They're putting up barricades around the city. Y'all, we've been here before. We know what's up. We know what's going down. We know what they are preparing for, because why put up the barricades around the city if you know we want justice and you are about to give us justice? Exactly. Karla, I want to ask you a very real question that a lot of people are tiptoeing around, and I'm just going to ask you. And if you, Daniel Cameron, thank you so
shout out to Terry.
much,
Thanks.
Terry. Thank you so much. I just want to ask you this question, and if you don't feel comfortable answering, that is absolutely fine. You are free to say that, you're free to say so, but do you think that wrongful death lawsuit, the $12 million that the family got from the city of Louisville, do you think that has or will have or has had any impact on whatever decision is going to come down this pike?
No.
Oh, really?
I just feel like that regardless, they're in my heart of hearts, they'll never be brought to, she'll never receive justice. They'll never be held accountable for the crimes, whether they got the civil suit, whether they either or, even if they didn't settle or they didn't receive the settlement. I feel like the outcome will be the same regardless.
Okay, I definitely agree with that. I agree that the outcome would be the same, but do you think that they feel more comfortable just like brushing her murder, because it was a murder, straight up murder, that they were more comfortable with brushing it under the rug because now they're like, well, we already, we settled with the family, we compensated the family. And I hate to even use the word compensated, but we compensated the family. We gave them the money. So now, if we just let these officers walk, I mean, it is what it is. Because I really feel like either way, I totally 1000% agree with you that we wouldn't. The first indication that we were not going to get justice where they were dragging their feet too darn long.
I agree, and that's why I said what I said. That you just said it that's what it is for me. It's the dragging the feet for me.
It's the engagement parties for me. Well, we out here trying to protest and we signing petitions and we protesting in front of your house and you having an engagement party. And then you come back and file egregious charges on the protesters to have them locked up. But now you got embarrassed. So you went ahead and dropped the charges against them. Like this whole thing was a shit show, a flam. Like Louisville should be embarrassed. Kentucky should be embarrassed.
But we can't stop we still have to be vigilant. Like they have to be held accountable. And I don't know all the answers, but it can't continue because every person that, every time they're not held accountable, we're sacrificing another person because it's okay.
Absolutely.
They think it's okay. I don't know.
So I'm just going to tell y'all, just stay prayed up. What the hell does I got going on? Stay prayed up. Excuse me.
You are.
I guess I'm just in my feelings, but just stay prayed up because the writing is on the wall. And I would be very, very, very surprised if Daniel Cameron comes back and says that they are going to charge those officers. Because if that is what they were going to do, why do we need barricades around the city?
What do you need a state of emergency for?
What do we need a state of emergency for?
It's nuts. I live in a city that homicide rate is through the roof, and they didn't even call a state of emergency for that. So, come on, you're calling a state of emergency because you're expecting you know what you're going to do, and you know that people are not going to be happy.
Gosh, I just wish there was more that we could do because this justice system is just. We have to start. We have to start. Yeah, and not just voting. Once again, I stress this so much. We got to vote locally. These judges hold so much weight. These district attorneys, we have to start holding them accountable. Not just voting for your president, voting locally. There are so many people, every one of us, where we live at. You wouldn't believe, what power that they actually have. I kind of feel like some of these politicians are so comfortable in the mindset, like they've gotten comfortable with the fact, like, oh, they ain't gonna come out and vote. I'm good. Yes, I can do whatever I want to do.
Listen, I see it locally. I see it where I live at. I'm telling you, and that's what it is. They bank off of that. And sometimes I'm not blaming us either, because some stuff we just don't know. But we have to start wanting to know. The question is, what can I do? First thing you can do is go to your towns, wherever you go to find information, and find out when they hold meetings, community meetings. That's a start. And we all can do that.
Well, can I go ahead
now for COVID, Zoom, it's even,
easier. Can I just take a moment to go ahead and plug Sarah? Karla and I, our good girlfriend, Sarah, she has an Instagram page, and her, let me see if I can just do this really quickly and put it up. Her Instagram page is DC Girl. Can y'all hear me typing? Her Instagram is DC Girl 627. And I'm going to go ahead and put this up for a little bit. I want you guys to go follow her on Instagram if you are on Instagram. She has taken on the task of providing information regarding elections all over, all the way down. She started with Mitch McConnell, because we fit in the ditch Mitch, and she is literally educating. I'm learning so much from her page. So if you are on Instagram, please go follow Sarah. It is DC Girl 627 on Instagram. She is providing daily content, necessary content. She is out here, each one teaching one every single day. And shout out to Instagram for trying to suppress her page, because she's putting out information.
Wow.
We on to you.
Oh, yeah.
So I figured that was a perfect time to go ahead and plug her page, because what she's doing is absolutely amazing.
And that's what we need. You need more platforms to not necessarily be political platforms, but make everyday people understand it that necessarily may not be as political or as in tune with what's going on politically.
Absolutely. So I want to go ahead and move on to our next topic. And our next topic is one of my favorite people to talk about, Vivica A. Fox. Now, y'all be talking about Vivica for all the wrong reasons, but let me just tell you about Vivica. And the reason why I wanted to really talk about this. So, the Emmys just went down. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Vivica was supposed to do the pre-show. She was supposed to do this pre-show hosting thing. And at the very last minute, her and Juliana Rancic, I think it's Juliana Rancic that it was. I think it was her. But they both was like, oh, we can't do it because we both tested positive for COVID-19. So everybody was like, oh, damn, y'all got the COVIDs. So they both had to pull out. And Vivica, so Vivica put out this statement and everything. She's so sorry she couldn't be there, but she's self-quarantining. She tested positive for COVID-19. And the story was going all over the place. Girl, the Lord had tapped me on my shoulder. He said, girl, chill on this one. I said, okay, Jesus, I will chill. Why I'm chilling though? He said, girl, just chill on this one. I said, okay. And I chilled on it. Don't be laughing at me. I talk to Jesus all the time, girl. So I went ahead and chilled on it. And sure enough, Vivica A. Fox hopped right on social media today on the Lord's Beautiful Tuesday to let everybody know she ain't got no COVIDs.
You know what? I can't.
Karla, hold on. I need to pull it up.
Please
Vivica said, I ain't got no COVIDs. Basically, what happened, and this is one of the real reasons why I wanted to talk about this, not the clown Viv, but she said on Friday, I took a self-administered COVID-19 test. As many of you are aware, it came back positive. 2 days ago, I took another COVID test, this one administered by a medical professional, and I am thrilled to announce that last night my results came back negative. I am feeling great, and I want to thank everyone for their show of love and support. Lesson number 1. I understand that Vivica had a job to do, and when she didn't show up for said job, people were like, hey, where is Viv? Right. But I don't understand why people feel like they have to announce when they got the COVIDs, unless it is a situation where you could have potentially infected other people, or a situation why is that the new, you remember when I got my Apple Watch and I was like, got my Apple Watch and everybody was like, got mine too, got my, people got the COVIDs, got it too. Why is everyone announcing it only to have to turn around and come back later and be like, well, I don't have the COVID.
I think wanting to be part of I hate to say it, it's attention seeking. That's just how I feel. Maybe it's something different, but I'm not understanding. And they have self-administered COVID tests?
Girl, listen. So the reason
I'm really asking,
I guess so.
I need to research that.
Do you pee on a stick or stick the stick up your nose? What we doing? But at the same time, I do want to say this. The main reason why I wanted to talk about this story, because it's not necessarily a story, right? Mm-hmm. But the main reason why I wanted to talk about this is because we had a COVID scare within my family, because I am positive that someone in my family received a false positive. And Karla, you remember what it put my family through.
Right.
All of us having to lock down, all of us getting tested, me having bubble guts, feeling sick, wondering, am I going to be the one who just is asymptomatic, or if Uncle Charles going to come get me in the middle of the night? Because with this particular situation, you don't know if it's going to be simply small symptoms or if it's going to be, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. Right. And so that's the thing. there is no possible way that the person who allegedly tested positive in my family, there is no way on God's green earth that that person could have been positive and nobody else in this house be positive.
Or
I don't. You beg to differ?
Yeah, it's possible.
Really?
Yeah, just because virus, it all comes down to your immune system. Like, to be honest, the chances of someone getting it are high, especially if you're around them. But there are other cases. There are husband and wives. I just read the other day, a husband and wife sleep in a bed with each other every night, where the husband contracted it, but the wife didn't. It was something else I was reading, but there are cases where there have been someone in the home. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't any false positive either, because
I feel like I can't breathe.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there is a possibility that it can happen.
But see, that's part of the reason why it's so important for all of us just to try to be as safe as possible. Because at the end of the day, all this boils down to is don't nobody know what the hell they talking about. Because you're telling me, I read something just the other day about it being airborne. So you're telling me it could be airborne, I can get it airborne. Then you're telling me give me 6 feet. Then you tell me
say something real fast. I didn't mean to cut you off. I had the pleasure of being invited to a webinar last night, and it was with doctors from CHOP. Anyone who doesn't know, Children's Hospital Philadelphia.
Yes.
And it was about the safety and the reopening of schools. Now, mind you, these doctors are the best in the world, pediatricians. There was about 6 of them. And what they did say is, now, mind you, I'm speaking for Pennsylvania and Southeastern Pennsylvania, guys. Our numbers are at 1% because of mask wearing. What they're stressing is wearing the mask from the data that has been shown is the best prevention, even better than, we're worrying about cleaning our hands. We still need to clean our hands. But what they found out was that mask wearing is more important than anything else. And it's not through the air. The reason we wear a mask is because we're kind of multi-layering it, right? Mm-hmm. They want you to social distance and they want you to wear a mask because just in case somebody decides not to wear the mask or social distance, you have double protection.
Right.
And then you sanitize. So it's a layered, the precautions we're taking are layered. Mm-hmm. That part was very, very encouraging and exciting to hear that our numbers are that low. But this is all because we were mandated to wear masks back in April.
From the beginning.
Yes. So it works, guys. It works. It works. We're on our way back.
But meanwhile, Freaknik is in full swing here in Atlanta. So I'm going to just mind my black ass business. I'm going to put my mask on.
That's the thing. It's sad, and politics comes into play with this. If we all were kind of doing the same thing, it's sad you have to mandate it, but we have a lot of selfish people. Unfortunately, I love our country, but I think that we're very selfish. None of us want to wear a mask, but we all want COVID to be gone. So it's like, pick what do you want to do? You want to wear masks forever? Because if we don't wear them, that's what's going to happen. Yeah. And, real quick, too, I don't mean to keep one thing the doctor said that it's a rumor, too, asthma. Since people have been wearing a mask, asthmatics have been coming to the hospital less. This is children. Children with allergies have been coming to the hospital. So even flu season coming up, guys, wear your mask regardless, because at the end of the day, we're going to see another spike because we're going into the winter and, we're to fall into the winter. And this is the time of year anyway for viruses. So mask up, y'all.
Mask up, mask on, no mask off. All right. So you mentioned our country. And I felt like it was a good segue because I want to go ahead and talk about Ty Lawson, who is having trouble in another country. First things first, can we talk about how fine Ty Lawson is? I don't care how you feel about Ty Lawson. He's fine. He is.
Yeah, check him out. Yeah. That's a really good picture. Yeah.
Let's just take a moment.
Everybody take a moment and let's look at Ty for a second.
All right. So I think Ty gonna be back on the US shores in the very near future. Ty Lawson has reportedly been banned for life by the Chinese Basketball Association.
Sad.
Because he decided to get on social media. Now, this man has lost a career in the Chinese Basketball Association where he's played, two years? 2 seasons?
I'm not sure, but I do know. Do y'all know what that CBA bag looked like?
Okay.
No, seriously. Sometimes that CBA bag is bigger than the NBA. That, depending on the player.
Why you think Stephon Marbury don't care about coming back over here?
Legend. A legend in China.
A whole legend in China. Yes. And the fact that he's so legend in China, he was able to get PPE gear and send it back over here for us to help us out because and got it at a discounted rate. Yes. Because he's so legend.
Yeah. Shout out to Stephon Marbury too. I almost forgot about that. Yeah.
Shout out to Stephon.
One of the first.
Yep. Yeah. He is one of the first to go over there and literally become a whole legend.
Yes.
So basically, Ty Lawson lost this gig because he wanted to do it for the gram. And basically, he must have went to what looks like it might be a nightclub, strip club. I don't know. I'm gonna
like a strip club.
She got on too much clothes for it to be a strip club.
True that.
But no. You may be right because in different countries, their strippage is different.
Right. You
know what I'm saying? Like you might be up top and the strippage is topless, but down here you gonna see some fallopian tubes when you go up in them clubs. I'll be like, listen, I was gonna drop some bills on you, but I didn't want nothing to hit your cervix. I was just trying to make it rain. But I'm just saying, like, in Atlanta, you gonna see some fallopian tubes, some cervixes. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, you might see a placenta depending on how long she dancing through her trimesters. So my thing is, it's different down here in Atlanta. So, but
way different, y'all.
Way different. Because Karla didn't believe me, but I showed her. I showed her.
Yeah, crazy.
So with that being said, so we're going to assume he was in a strip club and he snapped a photo because y'all just can't do nothing without doing it for the gram. Because if you don't post it, it didn't happen, right?
Yes.
He wrote on the photo, YOLO, I guess, laugh out loud. Then he doubled back and said, Chinese woman. Now, this what lets me know that he was so hyped. And so I'm assuming he was lit. He was hyped that he is poor grammar and spelling. Chinese woman, not women. Chinese woman. Woman.
Singular.
Got cakes on the low. Might switch up my stance soon. Laugh out loud. So this brother done seen some Asian cakes that is making him ready to switch sides, jump teams, and cross over in his love life. Well. The Fujian Sturgeons, I don't even know if I'm saying
You said that with your chest, too.
The Fujian Sturgeons said that Lawson's inappropriate comments on September 18th were a violation of the team's social responsibilities and core values policy.
Wow.
This dude said cakes. He ain't say wop. He ain't say ass.
Right.
He ain't say, booty in the back, party in the front. He ain't say none of that. He said Asian woman got cakes and lost his whole career.
Hey, the whole bag. It's foolish because the thing is, right? Okay, if that's how you feel. And I know most people are like, oh, that's it. But we know cakes is one thing as a culture. Then there's another cakes that is offensive. Now you think living over there, right? I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to laugh, but like, how many years he been there? A couple years.
He been there long enough to know.
Yeah, to know better. So that's why it's just like, and then we all know how China is very. They have rules about their internet, right? Don't they have their rules? Yeah,
strict.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I feel like that one. He played himself. He completely effed up a whole bag for just not being able to keep something to himself.
But let me just point this out real quick before we move on. The comment section on Ty Lawson's page from Chinese and Asian basketball fans were far worse than anything he put on that social media post.
I can imagine.
I saw one comment that had the N-word written several times, no spaces. It just looked like a whole N-word picture. That's how many, and then they kept saying to him, Chinese is your father. I don't know what kind of diss that is, but the way everybody kept dropping it, that must be some real hard shit over in China. They was like, Chinese is your father. I was like, damn.
It could have mean, it could have mean because your dad, I don't know. Could it mean, listen, you needed us. You need your dad.
Okay.
You messed the the whole allowance up. I don't know what that means, but wow. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm gonna have to try to find out.
It has to mean something hard.
Yeah.
And offensive.
Yeah.
Maybe because too many people were using it. Same phrase over and over. Yeah. And I had to come out of there because, some of my ICC friends on social media have jumped down my throat before because, like when I used to do my Friday night like rants when I would talk about different topics. Mm-hmm. And when I talked about looking ass towel, which is also on our YouTube page if you have missed it. Mm-hmm. But I talked about the police officer looking ass towel, the one who just stood there looking while Derek Chauvin had his knee on George Floyd's neck. Mm-hmm. And I just went on and talked about looking ass towel and his his history of having violations on the police force, his brutality. Mm-hmm. He was involved in beating another man senseless. And I talked about it. And when those people came in, them comments, child, they did everything but about call me an N-word. And they talked about, and they basically talked about black people in a special type of way. But when I said something about looking ass towel, but I wasn't sure if I was pronouncing his name right. And I said, my apologies to my Asian brothers and sisters. Mm. Some of the ICC friends ate my ass up and they proudly and loudly reminded me that Asian people don't care about black folks or they don't particularly like black people. And I'm like, I will never, as long as I can't generalize a whole group of people in that way.
I refuse to. I refuse to.
Just like I'm not going to generalize some of my cousins that I hide from when y'all in Walmart in your bonnets.
You better tell it.
Just like I'm not going to generalize some of y'all who be rolling out of the trailer parks and so on and so forth. I just can't generalize a whole group of people based off of the ignorance of certain individuals. It's just not the way I'm set up.
Exactly.
So I just felt a way about that because they literally was chastising me, like reading me my rights, like I had violated my own blackness by calling someone from another community a brother and sister. Like the Bible told me I'm supposed to love my neighbors even if I don't speak to them on a regular basis.
I know that's right.
So, I mean, that's just the way I'm operating.
And that's the thing. Like, if you want to generalize everything, then, it will be, you won't like anybody.
There it is.
You won't like anybody. And none of us are perfect. We are all, whether you want to admit it or not, maybe not racist, but prejudiced. Every last one of us has some type of prejudice, period. Mm-hmm. And I'll debate that with anyone. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a prejudice against somebody laughing too loud, somebody's hair, we're prejudiced. We're judgmental. It's human nature. Yeah.
I'm sorry, because I know
but I refuse to generalize and hate a group of people over, a few bad apples.
But I will tell you that honestly and transparently speaking to you and my ICC friends who are listening live or either via, the podcast, the audio podcast, I had to come out of those comments because the more I read, I really started feeling some type of way. And I had to come out of there. But again, I'm not going to generalize a whole group of people, but it's just like, you just can't sit in there and just watch that type of ignorance being consistently and repetitively spewed and not start to feel away. So I just had to cash out. I put a condo on my wrist and I cashed out. Yeah. And I just had to leave it at that. So Ty, baby, come on home. I'm pretty sure some Instagram thoughts that will be more than happy to put on a mask, come down to the airport and greet you in all type of ways when you get off that plane. Just make sure you saved your coin. And I don't know what I
hope you invested because that's the thing. Like once you hit the CBA, I'm not saying everyone in the CBA means they can't play in the NBA, but usually once you hit the CBA, it's because the bag is better there. And you may be on your, Ty Lawson's not a rookie. I'm not sure. I know he's a veteran. I'm not sure his age, but he's on his way out of basketball versus being in his prime or in, So that's not really a great look. I feel sad that it happened to him. Should he have lost the bag? Nah, but you have to be mindful of what you post and what you say. This is why everything is not meant for social media.
But Karla, here's what we don't know. Now, I'm not putting this on this brother and I'm not saying, but we don't know if there were previous violations. We don't know if there were previous talking tos.
That's true.
We don't know if there were previous issues that maybe didn't make it to the light. Because
that's very true.
If you look at the bigger picture, I mean, I know that they're extremely strict. I know that they don't play about their policies, rules, and regulations and so on and so forth. No. But to the naked eye in America, because we are so lax and because we let so much get away, we get so, we just allow so much to slip through the cracks. This feels like y'all jumping out the window.
Yes.
Like y'all jumping out the window.
Very good point. Yep.
So we're desensitized to a lot of things. We think a lot of things aren't such a big deal. Like, why y'all tripping? Whereas other countries, other, religions, other societies, they like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
We don't do, the only cakes that we talk about over here better be in front of you with some candles in it on your birthday.
I know that's right.
That.
Yep.
So,
period.
Welcome home, Ty.
And
welcome home. Welcome home, bro. Welcome home. All right. So let's get into some Black excellence. Let's talk about the Emmys.
You know what? Before you get into that, I think we need to take a break.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and take a break. All right, y'all. Let's take a break and we'll be right back and we'll be talking about all this Black excellence at the Emmys. All right, guys, we are back. So, Karla, I want to talk about the Emmys. Did you have a chance to watch the Emmys?
Girl, I didn't. I'm on lock. I feel like I ain't got a TV.
Listen, so it's so funny because I actually forgot about the Emmys, and it wasn't until one of my media friends texted me and was like, "Did you see Issa Rae's face?" And I was like, "Nah, what you talking about?" He was like, the Emmys." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm finna turn it on. That's right. I was coming. But I just want to report to y'all some amazing things. There was a lot of Black excellence at the Emmy Awards, 2020 Primetime Emmy Awards. It was virtual, which was weird to me, but they pulled it off. So I want to start with Eddie Murphy, one of the kings of comedy, just got his very first Emmy. All these years that Eddie Murphy has been in television.
Hold on.
Okay, let it
You
sit.
see how it missed me at first? I'm like, wait, Eddie Murphy just really? Wow. That's nuts.
He got it for he got it for hosting Saturday Night Live. Remember when he hosted in December and it was epic.
Yes.
So he got his Emmy. Zendaya made history by being the youngest actress to win Best Actress in a Drama. But she is also, not only is she the youngest, but I believe she's the second Black actress to win that.
Oh,
Shout out to Zendaya.
Yes, she's so amazing.
We got all the Black excellence. Now we're going to move on to the Cephas Jones family. Now you have Ron Cephas Jones, which most people was like, yo, that's Unc from Paid in Full. Like, okay. All right, y'all. Let me tell you something about Black folks. If you have an epic role, we ain't gonna never let you forget it.
Oh no, ever.
Not never. So they was like, yo, that's Unc from Paid in Full. Yes, that's Unc from Paid in Full. And his daughter, Jasmine Cephas Jones, they are the first father-daughter duo to win Emmy Awards in the same, ever.
That's so awesome.
So
how dope is that?
I'm excited to tell you. Do you know what Jasmine won her Emmy Award for? When I tell you, you're gonna be like, stop. She won for Free Ray Sean.
Oh, that's so awesome. Wow. Okay.
And of course, Papa Cephas Jones won for This Is Us because he is absolutely epic in This Is Us. Regina King, my Black Nubian queen.
The best. Love her. Just love her. You have to.
She has tied the record for Emmy wins.
Wow.
Yes, right. Now, she won for The Watchmen, but she tied Alfred Woodard for whatever the category. The category escapes me, of course, like always, but she has tied Alfred Woodard, another queen.
Wow. Yes, that's just like, wow. Interesting.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then there's Tyler Perry, who was honored with the Governor's Award. So, shout out to all these Black kings and queens who were out here representing us in the most beautiful way. So, Destiny and I watched, and the show was enjoyable. When you watch an award show and just one show or one person just keeps winning everything, after a while you're like, let me just go ahead and cash out like this because it's not fun anymore. But shout out to Schitt's Creek. Apparently this is the show that I've been missing out on my entire life, because anything that they were up for, they walked away with it.
Oh, word?
And I said, okay, so the Emmys was a shit show. You see what I did right there? It was a Schitt's Creek. Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I love that. That was smooth.
Yes, so I was like, okay, the Emmys is a shit show. But yes, so, shout out to all the winners of the Emmy Awards. Shout out to all the nominees. Yaya, I forgot to mention Yaya.
Okay.
Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. He also got his first Emmy. He's so fine. I forgot to add him to the thing. Yahya, I am so sorry. I will slide in your DMs to apologize. So with that being said, congratulations to all of our Emmy winners, especially those representing the Black excellence.
Gotta love it.
Let's slide over into some TV. Okay. Have you been watching Power Book 2?
No, girl.
Okay.
No, you already know.
So with this particular show, I went into it with reservations. Like with Power Book 2 Ghost, I am pleasantly surprised at how good the show is. Okay. Because I didn't give them none of the benefit of the doubt. Like I wasn't trying to give them anything. I just was like, you know what? Yeah, you know that.
I remember you was like, you were a little iffy about it. But.
Yeah, I was very much so iffy with this, but I will say I'm pleasantly surprised at how well the show is going without the ghosts, without Tommy, without Angie. Well, Angela, she at some point in time, she became a non-factor.
Oh, girl, yes.
Okay, but no disrespect to her. To what's her name? Lena Lauren, something, Lauren, whatever, Lorna, something, whatever her name, Angie.
Yeah, Angie. That's what I was about to say. Angie.
So, so with Power Book 2 Ghosts, I am at a stage where I just watch it when I get to it. It's not like I got to be Sunday night, like stop everything we doing. It's coming on.
Right.
I just watch it when I get to it. But I will say that I am pleasantly surprised. And based off of the reaction from our ICC friends, they are really, really loving this show. Okay. The reason why they are on this screen right now is because after 3 episodes, look at me, I had the right amount of fingers. I had the right amount of fingers. That doesn't happen. They have already been renewed for a season 2.
Wow.
3 episodes in.
Wow.
Because this spinoff is already breaking records for Stars with viewership records, subscriber records, because now, Stars, I don't know what happened between Stars and Xfinity, but apparently they was fighting behind their cousin's house. And so now Stars is not part of the Xfinity package. You have to pay for it extra when it used to be free. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are downloading the app, and a lot of people are, doing this, either subscribing or downloading the app. I subscribe on the strength of P-Valley. So I was just in there.
Of course.
Down in the day when it's getting naked. So, so that's why I subscribe, but I am pleasantly enjoying this show, but it is not an urgent call for me to watch. Okay. If that makes sense. So congratulations to the cast and crew. Method Man is doing his thing.
Oh yeah. Meth.
Yes. METHOD man. And, cause it's Wu-Tang forever for me.
Oh yeah.
And, Mary J. Blige is doing her thing. And of course, Tariq's a little more tolerable.
Is he? I was going to ask that. Okay. Oh, just a little bit.
Just a little.
He just had a birthday too, didn't he?
Today is actually his birthday. He is 22 years old today. Hey. So I thought it was really cool that they announced that they got renewed for a season 2 on September 22nd. And it happens to be Tariq's 22nd birthday. 222. So, yeah. Anybody that plays lottery. There it is. Better go get yours. Oh, yeah. Yes. So congratulations to Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart has a show called Die Hart on Quibi. And Quibi is, that's a little mobile streaming service where each episode is 10 minutes or less. So, it's a play on Die Hard, but he's like trying to learn how to be a stunt man in Hollywood. But it's funny. I watch like 1 or 2. I was gonna ask, you said 1 or 2. All right, that didn't sound like a vintage. I was going to try to breeze through that, but you just want to blow my spot up. I was going to breeze through. I was just going to breeze through. I rely on you for my content what I watch on TV. I know. So, but congratulations to Kevin Hart because he too has received a season 2 renewal. Okay. So congratulations to Kevin Hart. Round of applause. We're going to clap for Kevin. Yes. And I wanted to end today's episode of the Ice Cream Convos podcast talking about a film called Antebellum. Yeah. I'm going to keep this real cute and sweet because we have things to do. But Antebellum stars Janelle Monáe. This is one of the films that I was super duper 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 excited about. Tenet. Yeah, you are. Tenet and Antebellum. Those were my films. Shout out to the movie studio. I am greatly appreciative to Lionsgate for actually sending me a screener ahead of time so I could watch the film in the comfort of my own home. And I'm very, very grateful for that. But
Yes.
many of you are watching in the comfort of your own home as well, because it was released video on demand on September 18th. So it is still available. But I want to talk to you about my thoughts on Antebellum. And please don't get angry with me or drag me. Y'all, I was so god darn mad when I finished watching Antebellum that I had to talk myself out of doing a review about the film.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh.
Because
really?
I talked myself out. I literally had the lighting set up, even though sometimes it want to fall over to the side. I had the lighting set up. I had the microphone set up, and I sat down and I was getting ready to do this review. And then I thought to myself, do I want to burn my Lionsgate bridge? Do I want Janelle Monáe to turn down any interview request I may have for her in the future?
Oh, Lord.
Do I want the Black community who actually love this film, do I want them to snatch my edges publicly on my platforms? So I decided to fall back. But let me just talk to y'all right here, right now, in the comfort of my own podcast. When I watched the trailer for Antebellum, one of the things that they did that they were genius about was not giving out the full on what this film is about. You had to draw your own conclusions. You had to kind of come up or piece together what you think is about. Okay, first context clue, Antebellum. So I know that it has something to do with that period of time where slavery was a thing, and it was a serious thing in the Antebellum era, right? Yes. So I get that. But based off of the trailer and based off the context clues that I pulled, someone who goes to screenings and watches films my entire whole Black ass life, I said, okay, maybe this film is about Janelle Monáe being a successful Black woman and something in the scales of like a horror movie. You know, one of those films where every time you fall asleep, you drop into some other time. Oh, you're sorry. I didn't mean to do all that. But you fall into some other time period. Like a different time. Right. Or you fall into another realm or something of that nature. Okay. And that it would be a back and forth. Y'all, I got tricked into watching a full blown slave film. And that is not what I was expecting to do.
Really?
You know how I feel about slave films.
Oh, how we all feel. Well, I do too. I mean, I don't know about, I can't speak for everyone else. Yeah,
there's some people who don't mind. I am completely and thoroughly done with slave films. I don't need y'all to keep making slave films to remind me of what my ancestors went through. I know. Because I feel like in the year of our Lord 2020, if you in Hollywood and you're sitting in a room with writers and the best that y'all could come up with was giving me another slave film, just to remind me in 2020 of where I came from or where my ancestors came from, everybody need to be fired. Just clear out the room.
Yeah, straight up. Wow. I'm disappointed in that.
Okay. So I'm just going to say this. I got tricked into watching a slave film and I was very upset about it. When the film started, it started in the Antebellum period. And trust me, y'all don't have to run and cash out because I'm not going to spoil it. No spoilers. It started in the Antebellum period. I said, oh, they setting it up. 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes later. When all I'm seeing is cotton and whips and what the hell is going on? And I'm very, very surprised that Janelle Monáe took this role. I had a friend who reached out to me just yesterday. She told me she loved the film. I told her I hated it. She asked me why, and I told her why. But she told me that she was looking at the film. She gave me a totally different perspective on how she looked at the film. And I was like, okay, I can see that, but I ain't there. I'm not there. I'm just not interested in another slave film. And it was gratuitous slavery. It was gratuitous abuse. It served no rhyme or reason. There was no aha moment. No, none. It was just, it is what it is. This is what it is. And y'all, when a cell phone rang on this plantation, I was out. That's all I'm going to say.
No,
that's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say.
You playing.
That's all I'm going to say.
You playing. Wow.
So when y'all watch, please come back and let me know your thoughts. Please don't allow me to sway you one way or another, because what I was trying to do was allow and give people time to go see the film on their own, because at the end of the day, a Black queen is starring in this film. I don't know why she took the role in the film. Maybe because it was a starring role. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay, maybe. But it just was not for me. I had people reach out to me about Samuel Jackson's new project. It's called Enslaved. I immediately wrote back and was like, hell no to the no, hell to the no. It's Enslaved. I'm not interested in anything dealing with slavery.
No, that's right.
They had to come back to me and explain, and I appreciate them for doing so. I'm going to just put that out there. They came back to me and explained to me, this, I promise, this is not what you think it is. Okay, well, I didn't think Antebellum was going to be a slave film, but here I am watching people pick cotton for about 45 minutes to an hour. So watching people getting whipped. I didn't think it, okay. But turns out Samuel Jackson's new project, Enslaved, actually shows it's more of a like historic type of thing. It shows him, he did some type of lineage tracing to find out his roots back to, you know, his ancestors who were enslaved. Okay. Y'all could have picked a better name. I'm just going to say that because listen.
Did it have like the Blackish effect? Remember how we felt when we first heard Blackish?
I was so mad when I heard, oh my God. I was
that's what I'm kind of getting that feel. That's why I was like.
Yes. The name does not do the programming any justice. So they came back to me. They said, Zavi, just give it a chance. Check it out. We promise this is not what you think it is. Girl, I was pleasantly surprised. He went back to Gabon in Africa, reconnected with his tribe, reconnected with his people. And then another part of it showed divers who were diving, going undersea and diving to find wreckage from slave ships.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So, yeah. It was, I didn't have to watch nobody get whipped. I didn't have to, they put the warning out, because they have like some reenactments and things of that nature, but it far nothing. I actually I'm hoping that they send me more screeners for it because I want to go ahead and create more content around it to tell you guys more about it to watch. But I just got to make show because, they can reel you in with the first one and then it's, oh, hell no. So I need to make sure before I pull any of y'all in. Now, Janet asked a question. She said, was it like 12 years a slave whipping? No. Antebellum definitely was not 12 years a slave type of whipping, but 12 years a slave was the nail in my slavery movie coffin. Oh, yeah. After I saw the way they whooped Patsy, a.k.a. Lupita Nyong'o, I said, as long as I live, I will never purposefully watch a slave film that does not serve a purpose. Because a lot of these films are just, we're just going to whoop the slave, and then we're going to bring in a good white man who comes and save everybody, and that's that on that. Antebellum, for me, there was no aha moment. There was a twist, but there was no aha moment. There was no explanation for why I had to sit through all the rest of that nonsense. Okay. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't a climax, for lack of a better term. There was no payoff. There was no, oh. And then when I was waiting to find out what's finna happen, and I said finna because I'm down here in Atlanta, it went off. So it was one of those type of films. So, okay. Listen, at the end of the day, if I can tear it down, I'm going to tell you what the positives were. Janelle Monáe acted her behind off. Okay. She literally probably gave an Oscar-worthy performance in a film that's not Oscar-worthy. Yes. She gave an Oscar-worthy performance. She fine as frog hair. Word to Niecy Nash. Oh, yeah. Okay. She fine as frog hair. Her hair, her natural hair was absolutely gorgeous. She wore the hell out of this dress that made me feel like I just need to starve myself for the next 3 minutes. 3 minutes. That's all you get in 3 minutes. You're so safe. 3 minutes. Gabourey Sidibe, she was entertaining to the point of being annoying. You'll understand. And just everything else was just a...
It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah. So that's my review of Antebellum. They were like, girl, so in one word, wrap up how you feel about Antebellum. So, with that being said, listen, don't take my word for it. You can watch it yourself. But what I'm saying to you is, if you come back and say you didn't like it, I warned you. That's all I'm going to say. Read our review written by our resident movie guru, Brian B. Gunn. It's on icecreamconvos.com. And you can get more on all of the stories that we talked about tonight on icecreamconvos.com, or, download the ICC app where you can get easy access to all things Ice Cream Convos. I just thank you guys so much for tuning into tonight's episode.
Yes, thank you.
I just love the fact that we can all do this show together live, and that you guys can tune in and that you can chime in real time. And for those of you who are not able to tune in live, we appreciate you for listening to the podcast when it's released on Wednesday morning.
Yes.
So connect with us on social media. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, and we are on YouTube. Shout out to everyone who is watching on YouTube tonight, and shout out to everyone who is watching on Facebook. Thank you to everyone whose comments were featured, everyone who chimed in tonight to share your thoughts and opinions with us. We thank you so much for supporting us. Karla, I love you with my whole heart. You are the best co-host there ever was.
I love you more. I learned from the best. Love you more. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for y'all support, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also working on getting some interviews. So y'all hold tight, because we are working on getting some more interviews, because they are lots of fun to do. We always love welcoming people to the Ice Cream Convos podcast. Yes. So with that being said, we love you guys so much. Stay cute. I would tell you ladies to keep your cotton drawers on, but apparently the Lord done changed the thermostat outside, and we done fell smooth into fall.
Smooth.
Like I literally...
Heat been on already. I'm just going to keep it real. Heat been on already.
I went to bed with the air conditioner on and woke up to the heat. I was like...
Yes.
Am I heater on? So so it's a different type of temperature outside. So you guys go ahead and bundle up. Y'all can put your titty socks away, and you can put your cotton panties away. All right. So with that being said, be sure to wear your mask. Make sure you stay safe.
Please mask up.
Yes, mask up, and connect with Karla and I on social media. Karla, what's your social handles?
I am Ms. Karla Bree _ at Instagram.
Mm-hmm. And I am Mrs. Zavi B on Instagram. And of course, we're Ice Cream Convos _ on Instagram. And we are Ice Cream Convos Podcast on Instagram as well. Same handles on Facebook. So we're very easy to find. And again, we just thank you all so much for tuning in. And we want you guys to stay safe. We love you guys very much. Karla, any parting words?
No, we've said everything. Just please mask up, y'all. I'm trying to get back out and live life. I know we all are. That's all. God bless. Good night.
ICC.
We all we got.
Peace out, y'all. Love you.
Ice Cream Conversation. Ice Cream Conversation.